Only one becomes a hero. Okay, I
I
guess.
wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Welcome back to the One Shot Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Vincent.
And I'm Johnny. Welcome back to the episode. Today we're going over Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith and why we believe it is the best Star Wars movie.
And on this show, we break down movies and then we rate them on 4 different scales: acting, plot, rewatchability, and overall rating.
So today we have with us a special guest. Introduce yourself, Fidel.
My name is Fidel Ibrahim. I am a Star Wars enthusiast. I've watched all the movies several times, read the books. I'm a whole nerd. I could talk all day about Star Wars, but we should start on why this is the GOAT Star Wars movie, Episode 3, right here.
I love it. Great.
I can't agree with that.
Well, we have the majority say here. Therefore, the title is why Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars movie. So let's hop right into it.
It's not. It's not, though.
Okay, so that's fine. Well, we can have separate opinions. It's okay. So obviously, this movie review is Episode 3, Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. The genre is a sci-fi / action, and it has a runtime of 2 hours and 26 minutes.
Yeah. And this was released May 19th, 2005. And what is it rated? Let's check. I'm pretty sure PG 13. Yeah,
I'm
that's
almost
what I
positive.
figured.
PG-13.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is rated PG-13. Holy crap, 2005. This came out when I was 4 years old.
I know. Long time ago.
That's crazy.
In a galaxy far, far away.
You can take a walk. You know what? Take a lap.
You set that up though. You set that up. Come on.
I did. How? How did I set that up?
You said this movie came out in 2005, a long time ago. So I just finished it. We're doing Star Wars, therefore the first thing you see on screen is that. All right, it's okay. Anyway, please continue.
All right. So we're gonna break down the plot. The plot of this movie is years after the onset of the Clone Wars, the noble Jedi Knights lead a massive clone army into a galaxy-wide battle against the Separatists. When the sinister Sith unveil... Wow, that was difficult to say, and I actually made it through that. I was surprised. When the sinister Sith unveil a 1,000-year-old plot to rule the galaxy, the Republic crumbles, and from its ashes rises evil galactic empire. Jedi hero Anakin Skywalker is seduced by the dark side of the Force to become the Emperor's new apprentice, Darth Vader. The Jedi are decimated as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Jedi Master Yoda are forced into hiding. The only hope for the galaxy are Anakin's own offspring, the twin children born in secrecy who will grow up to become heroes. Okay. I got one thing to say.
I think I have an idea of what it is, but maybe not.
Only one becomes a hero. Leia, what is... Okay, I guess...
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
But
I just wouldn't say that. I totally disagree with that statement.
I disagree. So Leia is the face of the New Republic. She is the political mastermind where and kind of the poster girl, I would say poster boy, poster girl of the revolution, whereas Luke is the actual warrior on the front with the lightsaber. You know what I mean? So they're both heroes in their own right.
Right. But technically you only see one be a hero. Technically.
Nah.
Throughout the movies.
I disagree.
Throughout the movies, technically you only see one be the hero.
That's cap.
Let me ask you a question. How did Episode 4 start?
I was just gonna fucking say that, dude.
Who has the plans of the Death Star? That's not a coincidence, man.
Okay.
Leia Organa was always a revolutionary.
Yes.
She puts them into the trash compactor. She saves them from that. So just saying, she's done her work. They just don't show it on screen as much because Luke is the main character.
Well, yeah.
That's all it is. And that's why they showed her as a kid in the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Luke's just an iPad kid in that.
Yeah, exactly.
He literally is. He's like,
yeah,
whatever the fuck he's playing on.
Yeah,
or
sand.
doing whatever. Yeah,
he's on his sand tablet.
Of course. and it gets everywhere.
Yeah. But let's jump into the cast of this movie. I feel like there was a gigantic cast, but there's really only like a couple like key characters, obviously. So
Obviously,
first
everybody
off,
knows this cast,
yeah,
though. Like,
we
come
all
on.
we all know it
If
really
you
well.
don't know this cast, then there's something
Then we
wrong
have bigger
with you.
issues. You shouldn't be watching this episode.
Yeah.
a very infamous cast, very infamous.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
100%.
So to start off, we have Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, or the Chosen One. He's known for the Obi-Wan series, the upcoming Ahsoka series, and probably his most famous non-Star Wars role was Shattered Glass that came out in 2005.
Oh, another 2005? Wow.
Yeah.
He was up and coming at this time. He was seen as someone who could take the movie industry by storm since he was in Star Wars, and
Yep.
then everyone hated him as Anakin Skywalker. So that kind of just put a
Yeah.
hamper on his career. Unfortunately, I mean, he was a great Anakin, but people didn't like
Oh,
him.
he was fantastic.
Yeah.
His
I
acting is
agree.
on par. I mean, his facial expressions, the way that he just fits that character, honestly, is there's no one else I could think.
It's crazy how you don't see him in more stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I know.
even when he was like however old he was while filming um Revenge of the Sith, you know, it's crazy you didn't see stuff with him after showing that kind of duality to him, like, oh, he could be a good guy, but he could also, flip the switch like that.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But I mean, we never really saw him as a bad guy until like the second half of this movie. But like
Well,
outside of
yeah.
this movie, we've never seen him really as a bad guy. So like, we get to
Well,
finally
that's
see it.
debatable. We kind of did see him, and I know it wasn't him, but we saw a little bit more of it in the Obi-Wan series.
Well, yeah, but I guess
But
you could say some of it
I
was
guess
but
all of it wasn't really him, because
yeah.
most of it was probably like a stunt guy or just
I think he does his own stunts. I could be wrong, but I think he does. He
For
actually,
this
No, but
one, for
I'm
this he
saying,
did. For
but I'm
Obi-Wan, he
saying,
did.
I'm saying for Obi-Wan, I feel like once he's in, like, whoever is in the suit,
Yeah.
once they don't show the face, obviously it's probably not him.
I thought he did it for Obi-Wan because that was like one of his key terms of coming back was
Oh,
him actually
really?
being
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, in the suit.
and his
Being Obi-Wan?
Do you know what I mean?
his whole thing is because you look at the lightsaber duels from episode 2 and 3, and they're very rigorous. A lot of training. If you look at the background videos, there's months and months and months of training
Oh,
and
yeah.
working on everything because they had a real swordsman on set critiquing everything.
Yep.
So if you think about it, for him in the Obi-Wan series, it's only right for him to be as Darth Vader. He already has kind of that training and that presence as Darth Vader. So I think it was
That's
him
fair.
do all of his stunts.
That's smart. Yeah.
Well, Hayden Christensen, if you are watching this or if you see this clip on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, let us know. Did you do
Big
your own
fan.
stunts? Yeah,
Yeah.
we're huge fans. We love you as Anakin Skywalker,
Yeah.
and we don't think there should be anybody else
Mm-mm.
to have played the role. I think I honestly think he was the perfect Anakin Skywalker.
And if
Yeah.
you don't believe us, watch the scene when Natalie Portman tells him that she's pregnant. You get
Yeah.
all the emotions
Yeah.
in a 5-second span, the lips, the eyes, the face moving back and forth, all the subtle cues of acting that's so great. And he does that all in 10 seconds, and he just goes through all the emotions incredibly. I think he's a
Yeah.
great actor.
That's
And then
awesome.
and then he just goes, well, that's wonderful.
It's wonderful. Yeah. So he's shocked. And then
Yeah.
Right.
around like, what do I do? What do I say?
Well,
And then
yeah,
he
because it
comes
was like
back to it.
it was like everything. He was like, "Oh fuck, what do I
Yeah.
do?"
That's real emotions. If your girl
Yeah.
told you she's pregnant and you're like, oh my God, what am I gonna say? Oh wait, that's incredible. We're bringing life into this world. And
Yeah.
he
Right.
goes through all of those emotions very, very like authentically.
Yeah, but then she
Oh,
goes,
yeah.
"Well, what are we gonna do?" And he says, "Oh, this is a happy moment. Don't worry about that." So
Right.
you get everything there. It's
Exactly.
really
You
great.
get everything for
Yeah.
sure. He's
Yeah.
a great actor.
Yep.
But up next, obviously, we just talked about her. We have Natalie Portman as Padme Amidala. Can't believe you didn't put the last name, John.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jeez.
She is known for Black Swan. I don't agree with this, but it's on the script. The Thor franchise. Yes, she was in 3 out of the 4
Mhm.
movies.
And she was in Endgame. So
She made us
the
Oh,
flashback.
yeah.
She makes an
Yeah.
appearance.
Okay,
Technically,
okay,
she's
Yeah.
there.
okay.
So I'm just saying.
Well, do they actually show her? Or is it
Yeah.
just?
Yeah,
Oh
remember
yes, because
she's lying on the thing.
I read a deleted. I read something saying that was actually a deleted scene from
Yeah, it was.
Thor: The Dark World.
Mhm.
Okay, so I guess that makes sense. She's known for Marvel, obviously.
Primarily.
And May, December, what is that?
It's a new movie that's just came out in 2023, May, December.
Gotcha.
I'm not really sure what it's about, to be honest, but it's her newest film. So
Okay.
if you guys know anything about it, let us know down below.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. To be honest, I liked her performance, but I feel like it's Natalie Portman, so she's like stuck in that role. Like obviously everybody knows her from this like Star Wars role, but like her acting in it wasn't like so like great. I don't know. I feel like
I
there
think
could have been more given to her maybe to work with. So
I
maybe it
think
wasn't
the
her, maybe it
only
was her. I don't know.
I think the only good acting in this film was the end.
Oh, from her?
Yeah, oh yeah. 100%.
Uh, I disagree with you guys. I think she's great in her role. Her role is not to be she's not so she's kind of like Leia Organa, where she's kind of like the background. But
Yeah.
you look at her in episode 2 when she gets captured, when she's in the beginning when she almost gets assassinated, I think her acting's good because you could see she's really angry. Like, I don't know. I think she plays her role really well.
Well, I'm talking about
That's
in
just
this
me.
movie. I think in this movie, I think the only part that really kind of like I guess grabbed me from her acting was the end right
Oh, yeah,
there.
that I think that's the best part of her performance in this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I feel like the first like 3/4 of it, she's kind of just I don't want to say bad. She's not bad. It's just
Right,
like
right.
she's like okay.
She's corny. I could see what you guys are
Yeah.
Right.
saying.
And
Very
Some of the
lovey-dovey.
lines are bad, I think.
The lines are
and I
really bad.
completely yeah, I
Sometimes.
Yeah.
completely agree with John. It's not that she's bad, it's just, it's mid. It's mid acting.
I
It seemed
disagree.
like seemed like throughout this movie she was just doing it for a paycheck because she knew she was going to die.
I don't
She
know.
lost the will to live.
She did.
For unknown reasons, we're losing her.
So Fidel, do you want to say who's up next on our cast list here?
Yeah, so we got Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's known for Birds of Prey, Doctor Sleep, Christopher Robin, and Beauty and the Beast. I think he played this role tremendously. I don't think there's a better. The only person who could hold the candle up to
Unbelievable.
him is Alec Guinness.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
obviously.
but Alec Guinness is great in his own right, but him as Obi-Wan Kenobi just fits so perfectly. The
Oh yeah.
accent, the mannerisms, his facial expressions. I feel like he just looks like a teacher. He looks like a mentor. He looks like a someone that you want to be, who is the kind of the poster good Jedi for this movie.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
I mean, I think if Alec Guinness wasn't so old when A New Hope came out and all that stuff, and I think if say he was Ewan McGregor's age when A New Hope came out, I think Alec Guinness would have been a great Obi-Wan Kenobi to continue this franchise off of. But obviously they had to change that. Obviously they had to do what they had to do. Um and Ewan McGregor fit, you know, he really stepped into this role and kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
He smashed it. I feel like there's not much
Yeah,
else
I
to
mean,
say.
I guess yeah,
He did
he's
so
really
well.
filled the shoes of Alec Guinness. I
Mhm.
guess that's what I was trying
Yeah.
to
For
say.
sure.
And
There,
there's
there,
an interview that I watched from Ewan McGregor saying how he studied endless tape of Alec Guinness, and he studied so much about him and how he talked, how he walked, blah blah blah, like all that stuff.
That's
all the
And
crazy.
how he
mannerisms.
incorporated the different like battle stances between him in Clone Wars and then the older, wiser Alec Guinness
Yes.
Obi-Wan. And there's
Yeah.
so much there that he studied, and I think that he kind of took this role from what it was, and then he also turned it into something else, which is really great because he appreciates the old stuff, but he also continues it and makes it much better.
Yeah, they're known as two separate characters, Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Kenobi and then Ben Kenobi. If you look up Ben Kenobi, you're gonna see Alec Guinness, but if you look up Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're gonna see Ewan McGregor.
See this pop doll right here?
Okay, yep.
Kind of.
So on the box, it says old Ben Kenobi, not Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I just said. I mean,
Yeah,
it's true.
and it's based off of Alec Guinness, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Looking at it now, it's definitely based off of Alec Guinness.
That's cool.
Um,
I just want to one thing you mentioned, Fidel, you said that something doesn't hold a candle to I don't remember exactly what you said, but and I would play the clip, but you said that he doesn't hold a candle to something else. But the funny thing is he actually played Lumiere in Beauty and the Beast, where he was a candle. So I thought it was kind of funny and ironic.
That's where it's from, Beauty and the Beast. I didn't know he was in that, but it's taught me something.
Funny enough, I did.
Yeah,
I did know he was in that. He was in the live action, not the original animated, obviously.
Well, he still plays a fucking animated character, technically, in the live action.
But
yeah,
there's a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck, I had something that I wanted to say and I completely forgot. Shit.
Sorry, I'll keep going. If you think of anything, let me know.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not relevant now, but
sorry. So up next we have Samuel L. Jackson as the great and only Mace Windu. He is known for many, many projects. Actually, he has 200 projects that he's acted in over the last fucking 100 years, it seems. So he's known for his newest series, Secret Invasion, that just released its final episode yesterday, which was Thursday, July 26th. I haven't seen it yet, so
I watched it.
I heard it's really good. So we'll see. But
no.
Okay, fair enough. Yikes. He's also known for this actually really good movie. I just saw it this past year. It's called The Banker. It also has Anthony Mackie. Fucking great movie.
Give me a rundown.
It's pretty much like Anthony Mackie. They're in, I believe, Alabama, and they're trying to buy and work at a bank, I believe, something like that. I haven't seen it in like 9 months, so it came out in 2020. It's a really well thought out film, and pretty much Anthony Mackie is trying to make change in his community because he's known for doing really nothing. He moves out of his hometown, does some really great things for the Black community, comes back, tries to do the same thing, and that's pretty much the film. But it's a fucking great movie. It's really underrated because it came out during COVID, so it wasn't in theaters.
Interesting.
So Samuel Jackson, he's also in Inglourious Bastards. Fucking another really great movie. Quentin Tarantino, one of his amazing films among all of them. Pulp Fiction is another one, and among many more. And finally, we have The Incredibles. He plays Frozone, another fantastic one. Another incredible one, I should say.
I mean, he's perfect.
John, you are making the worst jokes today, and I'm not having it tonight. I don't know why, but I'm just not having it.
You look at Sam Jackson, he's the perfect person for Mace Windu. Yeah. I mean, he's kind of the opposite of, he is very critical of Anakin Skywalker. He is very critical. He holds the Jedi code. He's kind of like a hard ass, you know what I mean? And who better but Sam Jackson? Like, you just look at the scene when Anakin Skywalker's throwing a fit of not being promoted to master, and he says, "Take a seat, young Skywalker," and you just look in his face. He's like, "I want to fucking murk you, bro. Sit the fuck down." It's like no one could pull that off but Sam Jackson. So
you're so fucking right.
You gotta know.
You're so right, dude.
Well,
it's great.
What if they just like fucking gave Sam Jackson like just one F-bomb, and he's just like, "Sit the fuck down."
They should have. George Lucas.
Oh my God.
You know, and obviously that would have been a great line coming from the fucking guy who says "motherfucker" all the time.
I know.
He curses. it would have been
It would
great.
have been great.
There's no curse words in Star Wars, by the way.
Nope, nothing.
None.
Family friendly. You
Nothing,
can
yeah.
murder children and murder people and shoot people, but no curse words. That's off the table. George
I know.
Lucas, it's family friendly.
God forbid they actually say a bad word, but yeah, killing children is fine.
It's fine, totally.
I wouldn't even classify it as just killing. It was a mass genocide on children.
Yeah.
That's
Master
fair.
Skywalker, there's too many of them. What do we
are you
do?
gonna do?
Dead. That's what you do. You could die, kid.
Yeah. Seriously.
Oh my god.
And then Anakin just pulls the sit the fuck down.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Up up next we have Ian McDiarmid.
McDiarmid. Yep.
Yeah. As Emperor well, technically not Emperor Palpatine, Chancellor
Sheev.
Palpatine in this, right?
Sheev.
Chancellor Sheev Palpatine, the noble from Naboo.
Yeah.
This, I mean, he actually played him in the original trilogy. Believe it or not.
I could definitely, yeah.
He has the voice, he has well, obviously the face, everything about him. He's very cynical and calculating, and his Sith name is Darth Sidious, and that comes from Insidious. That kind of describes the character.
I'm actually watching the scene where
I can see it.
I can.
You can see it in my glass. Here, guys.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah.
No.
He's great. He's a big theater guy, so he's known
for
in theater, and you could see he's a classical, very good, well put together actor. You could kind of tell when people are from theater sometimes.
He's kind of like, and I don't even know if this is the right comparison, but he's sorry. The scene came up where he goes, no. It just made me laugh. But I don't even know if this is the right comparison, but him and Andrew Garfield, they use their body to show their emotions, and I think both of them use that very well. Because if you see in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think it's like close to the final fight where they're at like the power plant. You see Andrew Garfield using his body to show his emotions, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you here? I told you to stay at the car. Like, just using all of his hand gestures. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like he's using all of his hand gestures and body language to show his emotions since he has a mask on. And I think Ian McDiarmid does a great job, as well as Palpatine, doing that, showing his body language and using that to show his emotions.
Yeah, and his face. You look at his face, and because technically Palpatine as a character, he's two. That's how these Darksiders are. He's part Sheev Palpatine, Chancellor Palpatine, and part Darth Sidious. So you could kind of see when he switches. It happens in his voice. It happens with his facial expressions. When Anakin pulls out the lightsaber and he figures out that he's the Sith Lord, you could see like when he's admitting, learn the dark side. And in the background, he's like, his facial expressions is like shocked. And then when he fights Mace Windu, you see no one ever makes facial expressions during lightsaber battles like Palpatine. Rewatch it and look at the hatred in his eyes and his face. He really freaking sold it, man.
Oh yeah,
even though it wasn't technically him the whole time doing, because he had a stunt double. But when they had the close-ups, obviously it was him, and his face was just on point as a Sith Lord.
Yeah, I just watched him kill Palpatine, and he's like, his facial expressions were there and on point and like sinister.
Insidious. That's his character. He's a very cynical man.
Well, for me, I feel like the biggest tell of when he switches is when he looks at Anakin as he's kneeling, and he's talking to him, and then you just hear his voice get so much deeper and like more graspy. And I think he says, "Good." Yeah, that's the line that you can tell. Okay, like this is one I think bad motherfucker.
He's
So.
Wait, why can't I hear it? Oh man. But that's the line. I just saw it. I just saw it.
Yeah.
That's kind of when he fully switches into his dark side personality.
Yep.
But also I love the memes that were coming out years and years ago.
I know.
Of the beginning of this movie where they're going to rescue. Do it. Do it, Anakin.
There are so many, like watching
him.
it back now, I feel like there's so many memes that you're like,
Oh
you're just
my
casually
God.
watching the movie, do it. It comes up.
Yeah.
And then there's
Yeah.
like fucking 8 more that just
Yeah.
pop up throughout the movie. And it's like,
like
summer
No.
comedy.
No.
Yeah, this movie's iconic,
Yeah.
man. It sticks with people, and especially our generation, because we grew up with it and it was hated on.
I know.
So
Funny enough,
much.
I know you guys watched it growing up. I didn't watch this until I was like a senior in high school.
Wow, you missed out.
I never got into Star Wars
That
until I
is
was like
absurd.
I never got
Absolutely
into
absurd.
Star Wars until I was like a senior in high
Oh
school.
no, I was like 6 years old watching the Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Nope.
I was
I never
playing
watched it.
all the video
And that's
games.
the thing. Even though I'm into Star Wars, I don't think I will ever watch the shows. I just can't because they're animated. I can't
That's
do
where
it.
you're messing up, because
Yeah.
Clone Wars is the singular best
There's
piece of Star
so
Wars,
oh,
period.
100%.
But I can't for some reason I
There's
can't
so
do
much
the animated
knowledge.
stuff. I can't do the
Yeah.
animated stuff.
Listen,
That's
you
the best.
think it's
some
for
of the best
kids?
content.
You think it's for
No,
kids?
it's not.
And then
It's
they
not even
mass
that.
murder
It's
people
just
on screen, stab
Yeah.
people in the back with lightsabers, do the most. They promote slavery. It's absolutely and the messages behind each episode
They're
are
all
like
fucked
really
up.
adult. It's
Yeah.
really
no.
mature.
I get that, and I don't know what it is though. I just can't get behind the animated stuff. I haven't watched the Bad Batch.
Bad
I
Batch.
haven't watched
I feel
Clone
like
Wars.
out
I
of
haven't
all
watched
these shows, dude,
you know.
I feel like Bad Batch is the most. I don't want to say childish, but like the most immature of all of them. I feel like it's not as meaningful to watch.
I
I
think
haven't
it's
watched
Rebels.
that.
That's
I
probably the
haven't
most.
watched the anime style
Rebels
one.
is really good though. I
I
really
love
fuck with
Rebels, but
Rebels.
you could tell it's very towards the audience, more so than the Clone Wars. It's kind of
Yeah.
it's corny, but once you get past the corniness, it's very good. I feel like Bad
There's
Batch
so much knowledge just to be learned. I know like that sounds like fucking so nerdy, but like there's so much Star Wars lore that you can learn from Rebels in itself. And now
The
you
best-
need to know because of Ahsoka, the Ahsoka
Yeah.
Tano show coming out
You definitely need to watch that.
in
The best
August.
part about Star Wars for me is the world building. George
Mhm.
Lucas did incredible with
What
the
a
world
fucking
building.
genius.
He got
What a
his
guy.
anthropology degree from USC. He's a California boy, born and raised. So he used that anthropology degree to kind of build this society in this galaxy in Star Wars. And I feel like that's the best part. It's not the movies itself, it's not the shows itself, it's the immersive world that is built around Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's insane. And that's kind of what the cartoons do. They fill in those gaps of the movies.
Yeah.
So that's really why I think you got to watch it. You have to.
Because in all these movies you only see maybe 6 total planets, 7
Yeah.
planets, and then I feel like in each episode of Clone Wars you're going to a new planet, learning something new, and
Multiple new
it kind of
planets.
sticks with you, and it's really really cool.
I'll
But,
try.
you need to watch because of how important they are.
I don't know if I could do it. I don't
The
know why.
The
I
first
don't
season is a
know-
drag. Everything else after that is the fucking best Star Wars content you will ever watch.
The thing is, I just don't know why I can't get behind it because it's animated. I guess I don't know. I mean, it's for some reason the live action stuff.
Well, of course, the
episodes
live
4 or
action is
5
more appealing, but still,
You got to watch it, bro. Plain and simple.
yeah. I mean, you just gotta do it. So I know Fidel, you had one last mention here, so I'll let you take that away.
Christopher Lee, the great Sir Christopher Lee, playing Count Dooku. Now, the thing why he fits this role, he's also a theater guy. He's also a classical actor, very old school British guy. He passed, unfortunately.
I was gonna say. I thought I heard something about him passing.
Yeah, he passed, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Christopher Lee. But he's a very classical actor. If you look at clips for him, the way that he just stands up straight and he has his chin, the look of superiority, he's looking down at you. This is a man who you could tell he comes from money in real life. You could tell that he is a noble. You could tell that this man is he was raised with a gold spoon and a pinky up on the teacup. So him playing a noble in Star Wars is so fitting. And on top of all of that,
I don't know where my brain. I thought you were about to say a finger up your ass instead of a silver spoon up your ass, and I was like, "Where is he going with this?"
No, he grew up with a gold spoon. I'm not even saying a silver spoon, a gold spoon, and because he's British and he has the pinky on the teacup. That's what I was referring to. But on top of all of that, and having the look and the feeling and everything of someone who is a nobleman like Count Dooku. He's also an expert swordsman in real life. He's
Yeah, that's
Really?
just crazy.
fencer.
That's,
So all of that kind of comes together, and it's like another perfect pairing because Count Dooku in his character is a noble. He is someone who comes from nobility, and he is someone who is rooted in his morals. And
Yeah.
you totally could see that in Christopher Lee. So that was another perfect casting by George Lucas.
Yeah. I had one note on Christopher Lee. They kind of did the same thing with him as they did with Alec Guinness. They wanted to bring in a really experienced older actor to kind of give some light onto the younger actors and make this movie, I don't want to say more appealing to some of the older viewers, but they kind of did because Alec Guinness was that guy then in the 70s. And Christopher Lee, he was more well known than some of these other actors. So they wanted to bring him in to kind of fill that older, more I don't want to say role model-y role because clearly he wasn't a role model in the show or in the movie itself. He was the villain, but that's what he was meant to do, stuff like that.
He's
Yeah,
Dracula, right? He played Dracula.
Yeah, he was Dracula.
That's iconic.
I know.
That him playing Dracula is such like everyone knows what Dracula is.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's
What were
wild.
you gonna say, Vincent? Sorry.
I guess. I've been forgetting a lot lately. It's okay. But I guess we'll just since we talked about George Lucas, I guess we'll just jump in into the director and his experience. Obviously it's George Lucas. Lucasfilms created they create every single Star Wars project, even though technically it's Disney. Lucasfilms is obviously
Still connected.
yeah. And obviously you can tell he's done every single Star Wars project to come out. Lucasfilms has been probably the uh, producer and whatever, studio for every single Star Wars project to come out, and I don't think that's ever going to stop because
No.
once if he ever gives those rights away, which I think
He already sold it, so
I
he doesn't
think-
have.
Yeah.
but that's the thing. I think he's super pissed about it.
Oh yeah, he is. He tried to
100%.
get it back, but so it didn't happen. So he kind of stepped away
Right.
because he was producing still,
Oh,
and he kind of
hold on, Master Skywalker. What are we going to do?
George Lucas, he stepped away because he was getting so frustrated that that his voice wasn't really being as heard as it should have. George Lucas pretty much stepped away from Star Wars because of how frustrated he got after he sold all the rights essentially to Disney, and they kind of made these dog shit movies after disregarding everything he said and how to make those films. So he stepped away from all of it and is kind of letting Disney do their thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would be pissed too if I saw what I created and they're just kind of tanking it and throwing
now
it
all this stuff is
down
ass,
the garbage,
but
down the toilet, whatever the fuck you want to say.
Yeah. I have one question for the both of you. Do you know what year the initial Star Wars came out? I feel like I know you.
The original?
Yeah.
I didn't even have a chance to answer.
I knew he would know instantly. You didn't know, Vinny?
I was honestly going to say, I don't even know. I was probably going to guess 1969 or something.
Oh, okay. You're newer. You're newer to us.
That's the thing. I'm not. Yeah, exactly. I'm new to the. I guess you could say I'm new to the.
Yeah, no, you said
the Star Wars.
It's only been what, 5 years, 6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
It's instilled in my core.
Was it? No, wait, no, it wasn't senior year. It was sophomore year, maybe.
Either way, that's still.
When did The Force Awakens come out?
2015.
Yeah.
So that would have been sophomore year.
That was the start of the downfall,
school, right? Right, John?
That would have been freshman year. Freshman.
Oh shit! So I guess I got into a freshman year of high school. So it's been about 8 years.
That's not bad though. So jumping in, I guess, to our weekly film questions. I already asked the one question about what year it came out, but do you know the first film, the first bigger film that George Lucas directed?
I don't, but I know you're gonna tell me.
So I remember It's something about cars. It's something based
Mhm.
in California. Oh man, I know this movie.
Cars by Disney. Boom. Got it. Life is a highway.
It's literally on the tip of my tongue. Tell me if you say it, but you're gonna say it and I'm gonna know it instantly.
I'll give you one. Vinny, do you have any idea?
I have no fucking clue.
Really? Okay. It is. Well, his first like student film was THX 1138, but like his biggest break, it was, oh my god, where is it? I just had it up and now I can't find it. Sorry, give me 1 second. Oh, sorry. It was American Graffiti. That
American
was
Graffiti.
his first
Yeah.
like big film. That was in
It kind of sounds
73.
familiar.
Yeah.
And that's actually inspired by his own life because it's
Yeah.
in Modesto, I think, where he grew up, or in Fresno, around that area. I'm familiar with that area because I'm a California boy. I was
Yeah.
born and raised there. But in the 60s, he talks about how the car culture and all of that kind of just welded together in that weird 60s era. And then he made a movie about it.
Yeah.
It was
Really
his big
cool.
first project.
So yeah, that was the first movie that he actually got like created and picked up and everything, and then it led to him and his creative team. Well,
Yeah.
kind of just him, but creating Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, he was a lone wolf. He didn't want someone
Yeah.
looking over him, telling him how to write his own story.
Mhm.
So that's kind of why he created Lucasfilm
Well,
and
yeah.
had all these small studios created to kind of make Star Wars. And he also created ILM.
Yeah.
We know today is the premier special effects in the world for movies, and George Lucas is the founder of that. And Star Wars in the 70s, like, I don't know if you guys ever watched the 70s show.
Mhm.
But when Star Wars comes out in the 70s show, they're
Oh
fucking
my god, they go crazy.
they're obsessed with it. Like, I've
Yeah.
never seen anything like that on a movie screen. And
Yep.
it's literally it's how it was in the 70s.
I
I mean,
know.
nothing was
Yeah.
ever like that. Nothing was
Yeah.
released, nothing with those effects were possible. No one thought that was possible back then. And George Lucas
I
did
know.
it.
It's
Yeah.
wild. It really
That's
is
nuts.
wild. Second question. About Star Wars. We all know how they have a Marvel What If series. If there was a Star Wars What If series, what episode? Name one episode and like a topic that you would want done.
Okay, I actually have two.
What is
Okay,
what
well,
if? I'm not familiar with
So
Marvel.
What If is pretty much,
It's like,
we all
what
know
if this
how-
happened instead of this?
yeah, essentially.
Or
So,
what
like-
if this happened instead of what actually happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my thing is obviously the biggest thing. What if Anakin never turned?
Yeah.
That's the big thing. And then my second one would obviously not obviously, but it would be, what if Yoda turned to the Sith? What if Yoda turned to the dark side? How fucking cool would that have been to see like a little Sith Yoda?
I believe there were Sith Yoda beings at one point.
Yeah, we still have no
I
fucking
know.
clue what species he is.
Yeah, I'm assuming maybe we'll figure out eventually.
Hopefully
because of the
Favreau,
Mandalorian, but
yeah, hopefully Favreau.
We'll see.
I
figures
hope we
something out.
don't. Honestly,
I think it's cool that we don't know though.
Kind of
It's
leaves,
the
yeah,
mystery
because I
of
mean,
Yoda.
Yoda's a mystery. He's like a mythic being.
Yeah.
The best way to end a story, or to you let the viewers decide. You
Yeah,
kind
it
of
creates
have their
more
imagination
conversation.
take a hold. Exactly, more
Yeah.
conversation. There's theories. People get more.
And that's why we're here today.
So we're
essentially.
here because of Star Wars. It's, I mean,
Yeah.
this universe is crazy. Star Wars, the whole franchise is crazy. It's one of the biggest entertainment franchises.
Yeah.
Probably only Marvel's bigger than it, realistically.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you think your what if episode would be?
Does it have to pertain to this movie?
No, not necessarily. Just
Okay.
Star Wars in general.
The one that I was thinking kind of goes along with what Vin was saying earlier. What if Anakin never turned? But mine kind of goes back to episode 1. What if Qui-Gon Jinn wasn't killed by Darth Maul? Because
Ooh.
Qui-Gon,
Yeah, I've seen that so much. What if
Yeah.
Qui-Gon trained Anakin instead
Yeah.
of Obi-Wan? Yeah.
because Obi-Wan says it in Revenge of the Sith, he's like a brother to me. Anakin didn't need a brother, someone to kind of enable him. Because you see in the Clone Wars, he never follows orders in the TV show. He never follows orders. He's blatantly disrespectful. He kind of does his own thing. No one can control him. If he had a father figure like Qui-Gon to teach him how to control his feelings, to teach him how to obey rules, to teach him how to do these certain things, he wouldn't have kind of knelt on Palpatine to be that father figure, and that's
Yeah,
why
exactly.
got in so close and kind of snatched him up.
Yeah.
So I think yours, I think our episodes kind of intertwine,
Yeah.
and obviously, obviously, you start off with the Qui-Gon not dying, that
Yeah.
leads Anakin to not turn.
Yeah. But we don't know what
Yo,
would happen. What if?
Lucasfilms, Disney, hit us up. We
Give
got
me a
this.
contract. I'm a nurse, but I'll still write a little stuff down. I'll give y'all some ideas.
Hey, if they're gonna pay you a shit ton of money, you will quit your job as a nurse.
Yeah,
I
no
will.
more nurse for you, bro.
I will totally work for
The hell with
Disney.
that.
Everybody,
totally will.
TikTok,
They need
TikTok,
writers
tag
because
Disney.
clearly they suck.
Tag Disney in the comments.
Yeah.
We
Dave
got
Filoni.
ideas. We got ideas.
Hit me up, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think my What If series episode would actually be nothing that you guys actually mentioned at all. Mine would be what if Luke joined Palpatine and Vader?
Wow,
Boom.
what a good one. That's a great
Boom.
one.
Well,
That's a
clearly
good one.
clearly he would have to kill his own dad and replace him. So that was a
think?
given. Yeah,
You think?
because the new apprentice always has to kill the old apprentice. That's how it's done.
Or
Yeah.
the new apprentice kills Palpatine.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
yeah,
they won't have
together.
and then they won't have to make those shitty 6, 7, or not 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. In Empire Strikes Back at the end, Darth Vader reaches his hands out. He says, "Join me."
And
I
together
know.
we can rule the galaxy as father
and son. Yes.
That's Anakin kind of shining out because Darth Vader never
Yeah.
really killed Anakin. It's 95% Darth Vader, 5% Anakin. And that just kind of came out more once he's seen his son. Because
Right. And
he loves his family. He loved his mom. He loved his wife. And that's
I think
what drives him.
And I think like we were saying, I don't think that Luke would kill Anakin or Vader, whichever one you want to call it, at the time. But I think they would both try to figure out a way to get rid of Palpatine so that they
Yeah.
he said they can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah. That would have been cool. That's a cool idea.
Without being under the control of Palpatine.
Yeah. Because Palpatine's a dictator. And kind of you could see in Revenge of the Sith,
I thought you were just gonna say he was a dick.
No, he is a dick, but he's a dictator. You could see that in the prequels, he's gathering up power. He's destroying democracy. He's kind of making people extremists. So when democracy fails, people turn to other means. In Nazi Germany, after World War I, democracy wasn't working. The westernizing thing wasn't working. They looked at Hitler to kind of bring them back to where they were before World War I. And it's kind of the same with the Republic. The Republic was in a state of decay. And they looked at Palpatine, someone to just give all their power to, and just this noble person to just kind of make things better.
Well, they didn't want to worry about it. They didn't want to have to deal with it. So they're like, yeah, let's give him everything, let him do it.
Yeah.
And then he, took over and
he's grabbing that power. And then he becomes a real dictator and a real authoritarian figure.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah. So I have a couple more questions, but I'll only ask one more so we can keep moving. My last one would be, if possible, which movie or movie series would you have remade today? Kind of like what happened with Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
Do I have to answer this again?
No, you don't have to because I know you did already. But I guess it's mainly for you, Fidel.
Which series would have to be redone? Is that
Say it's even
movie
if it's like
series, movie in general,
like if they wanted to remake Back to the Future today and continue that or something like that.
We were talking about this actually before we got on air. Many Saints of Newark, the Sopranos prequel, how Tony Soprano kind of came to being. And I wish that movie was just tweaked better, obviously, but tweaked to where we see Tony Soprano and Dickie Moltisanti really working together and doing these grimy Italian mob things instead of, spoiler alert, Dickie just dying at the end and Tony just looking at the casket. And then you have to kind of figure out in your head, oh, this is when he turns into a badass. No, I wanted to see him be a badass as a kid.
Right.
It is what it is. That's mine.
Obviously.
That's pretty cool. So I guess we can jump to our weekly film recap. So new movies coming into theaters. We have the Blue Beetle movie coming out. I
I'm
believe
kind of excited
in
for that.
August.
A little
I am
bit.
too.
A little bit.
I'm
Not trying to get my
cautiously
hopes up.
optimistic.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get my hopes up.
Yeah. I heard the villain is good, but not like super overpowering because Blue Beetle's a new character, so they're not gonna like throw him the fucking most difficult villain, which is I think Black Beetle, from what I hear in the DC realm. I don't really know DC all
I
that
don't
well.
know if that's I
but
don't know if that's right.
That's beyond me. Barbie just came out. Oppenheimer just came out. Both are doing really, really well at the box office right now.
Seriously, I mean
yeah.
they're both fighting for like rank right now.
Yeah. Barbie has earned the most money in the box office for a female lead ever in opening weekend. So that's awesome. They also, I believe it was the best something. I can't remember it now. Anyway, so yeah, they both been doing really, really well. There was one statistic I had in my head, but now I can't remember. It was involving a female, which was Margot. Oh, this is Margot Robbie's best performance
As a female
lead, and it's made the most money. That was her she's made the most money in this movie out of any of her other ones.
That's the thing. Okay,
sorry.
Everybody says this movie is great, but I'm very skeptical to watch it for some reason. I don't know. I feel like it's just gonna. I feel like everybody's saying it's really good, but I feel like it's gonna be fucking stupid.
I've heard good things.
A lot of people saying it's good because she's hot. I'd say the same thing.
Okay, but is it a good movie?
I don't know. What is even the plot behind a Barbie movie rather than this is the Barbie world?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what is the dilemma? What's going on?
How?
I believe she has to go to like the real world.
Don't get me wrong here. Don't get me wrong. Okay, take what I say right now, kind of with a grain of salt. How are you gonna make a movie about a toy as a real person?
Toy Story.
That like no, that's not what I'm saying. And that's why I said, and that's why I said, that's why I said, take what I'm saying kind of with a grain of salt, because I knew one of you fucks was gonna bring up Toy Story. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, how do you make a movie with a toy being a real person? Look what happened with Megan. I heard Megan fucking flopped in studios. Technically, that's not a toy; it's a robot. Whatever. Fuck it. I don't care. But how are you gonna make that's like, okay, it's kind of like the Lego movie. The Lego movie was obviously aimed towards children. This is not.
Yeah.
How are you gonna do that?
And we're not the target audience either. We're guys. The target audience is girls. You know, just like kind of girls maybe are trying to shit on Oppenheimer or whatever.
Yeah, I'm so surprised they released it the same weekend as Oppenheimer.
It's
so surprised.
You know, I don't know, man. We're not the target audience. I get that, and I'm probably definitely not going to see the movie. It's just not for me. But I bet it's a great movie.
But also the Lego movie, at least they made it Legos, and then they kind of incorporated somehow, a quick little like thing saying, oh, the real world is involved. But then the second one, obviously there's no correlation to the real world at all. But this one, it's like Barbie's a real person and she's just been living in Barbie land or whatever the fuck it's called for all this time, and then she just decides to leave and now she's in the real world. What the fuck?
I have no clue. I don't know.
Like, how does that? Apparently, like I guess that's the whole. I don't know. I kind of don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, how is this getting such good ratings? When it seems like it's so stupid.
Kids and women. That's their target audience. And you think about it, kids and women are 2/3 of, the people who are going to see movies, so, and, on top of that, it's very trendy. The days of social media, something doesn't have to be good for it to be popular.
Yeah.
It just has to get clicks and it has to get attention. If they put a movie about shit and it was fucking world famous, people would go and buy tickets tonight.
Well, I mean, they did that with the Emoji Movie, and that movie was fucking dog shit.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that movie, but
I didn't either.
See what I'm
knew it was
saying?
gonna be bad.
Things get trendy and marketing works. Where fucking we're sheep, bro. We see.
I know.
We
It's
see.
bad.
And psychologically, they know how to target us. Their
Mhm.
target audience, they with the Barbie, it's all pink. It's all pink. It's all
I know.
girly. It's all bikinis. Blah blah blah. They catch that target audience and they psychologically manipulate them into seeing the movie, liking it, sharing it, yada yada, so on and
Right.
so forth.
It's a little bit of
That's
nursing coming out from that
that,
statement.
that's my 2 cents.
But after just going over that, now we're gonna just say 3 movies we've seen recently. John, start us off.
So for me, I've been on this Kingsman kick recently. I saw the first Kingsman,
Thank
Secret Service.
God.
I've seen Kingsman.
I've been
The
telling you to
Golden
fucking
Circle.
watch these movies for
Yeah.
so long.
The first one was really, really great. The second one was good, but it's not as good as the first one.
Hold on a second.
And the second one doesn't hold a candle to the first one. I think the first one's by far so much better. And
I
will
like
stick
the
to
first
that.
one.
I might
First one's much
not
better.
talk to you for like a week.
It's okay. I think the first one's better.
I don't know. That's the thing. They're literally like, okay, so it's like they're literally like this. Like one's like just above the other. Like
they're both good. Don't get me wrong. Like the second
they're
one's not bad,
fucking
but I just
fantastic.
think the first one's a lot better. And this is
I
the
gotta tell
same
you-
way I reacted to the Spider-Verse movies. First one is so much better than the second one, even though the second one is
Oh,
still
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
great. It's the same
100%.
thing with this. They're both really good. The first
I
one
gotta
is
say,
much
don't
better.
watch The Kingsman. I'm telling you. just
I was gonna watch it this weekend.
No. Don't waste your time. It's trash.
I figured as much, but
It's
yeah.
garbage. Just don't waste your time.
Yeah. And then the third thing I watched, it's not a movie, but I watched the new quarterback TV series on Netflix. Really good so far.
I keep saying
Really good.
that, yeah.
They just
Really
greenlighted
good.
the second season with all the New York quarterbacks, so I'm excited for that as a
I
Giants
saw
fan.
I saw a TikTok and it's like, oh, I didn't know Patrick Mahomes was like that, and like he's shit talking, like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
He's a
Um,
dog on the field, bro.
yeah,
I forgot who he was talking to, but it was in the Super Bowl, and he was talking. He was like, "Oh, some other player was like, oh yeah, I booked." It's Jalen Hurts. It's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I booked my family at Airbnb." Patrick
3
Mahomes-
months in advance.
Yeah, I did that 3 months ago. I knew I was gonna. He said that like so calmly, like, "Yeah, I booked
Wow.
3 months ago. I knew I was
Yeah.
gonna be in the fucking Super Bowl." Like he's just
That's
flexing.
just crazy.
Like,
Damn.
fuck you, little boy. My family. I knew that this shit was gonna happen, bro.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
He's
Yeah.
a dog. He's a dog. I respect him. For
It's
sure.
crazy.
So I've seen this on TikTok, and I want to try it with you too, if you guys can do it, because this is part of one of the movies that I've watched recently. So I'm gonna say the cast of this movie out to you guys,
Mhm.
and you're gonna try to figure out what it is.
Okay.
Shoot. Let's do it.
Will Smith, Robert De
Mhm.
Niro, Jack Black, Martin Scorsese, Renee Zellweger, Angelina Jolie.
Is it animated or live action?
Animated.
I
Oh
figured as
yeah,
much.
I have no shot.
Will Smith?
Will Smith,
Mhm.
I don't know what
Robert De
he's
Niro,
in.
and animated. Like, what's going on?
Yep.
It's not superheroes.
Nope.
Okay.
Has to be a Disney project.
Mm-mm.
Is it Pixar?
Oh.
What distribution company was it?
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
Robert De Niro.
Oh, it's Shrek. No?
No.
No?
What?
No,
Not even close.
not even close.
You're thinking of Eddie
there's-
Murphy, Mike
Eddie
Myers,
Murphy,
and
yeah.
Yeah. There's something with Will Smith that I know is animated from Pixar. I can't think of it though.
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks, sorry, that's what I meant. Oh
Mhm.
my god. What year did it come out?
2004.
2004.
It's on Netflix.
Fishtails.
Oh
You are so close. It is Shark Tale,
no!
and it is
Shark
great.
Tale!
It is great.
Ah,
That
Shark
movie
Tale.
holds up till this day.
It
That
does
movie's
hold up
so
to this
good.
day, bro. The
And
balcony
as an
scene.
And the thing is, as an adult watching it, you're like,
it's
oh,
bad,
this
bro.
is kind of about the gay community. Also, it's about racism.
Mhm.
Also, it's about so much other shit.
That's so fucked up.
That's crazy
And
how I
it's-
got that. I can't believe I didn't
That
think I
was
was
really
gonna
good.
get it.
Yeah. So watching that, it's like you're like, whoa, they were trying to give us a message like a while ago.
Fish
Yeah.
are friends, not food.
That's Nemo, but good try. No, but like there's so many like kind of racist jokes in that. but like they kind of hit and they're kind of funny because it's like you can't tell. It's like you can't really tell that they're like racist.
Yeah.
They're just like subtly, I guess, racist.
Well, yeah, it's placed in a children's movie, so how?
Yeah. Well,
no one's
because
gonna
like
get it.
because like there's one thing where Will Smith goes up to Martin Scorsese's character and like they're trying to do a handshake
Mhm.
and Will Smith's like snap it, and Martin Scorsese's like I am snapping it, I am, and then Will Smith just goes, "Don't worry, a lot of white fish can't do it."
I
He
never
says that.
noticed
Oh
that. I
fuck!
never noticed that,
And then
bro.
Martin Scorsese does it to De Niro's character, and then he says, "Don't worry, a lot of great whites can't do it,"
That's
because he plays a
crazy.
shark. So it's like
That's,
subtly, like
Oh
there's
my god!
subtly a little racism in it.
that's
Damn.
so crazy. Will Smith won an Oscar off of it.
No,
That's what it says.
you're kidding.
Off of Shark Tales.
Wow, that's crazy.
Let's double check that.
Funny enough, my second movie is another Will Smith.
What?
Say it again. Sorry.
My second movie that I've watched is another Will Smith movie, which is weird.
I Am Legend.
No, that's also really good.
Mhm.
iRobot.
No, also a really good one.
Really good. One of my favorites.
This came out a little bit later. But first off, Shark Tales, go watch it. It's on Netflix. Fantastic movie. It's a kids movie, but it holds up when you're an adult. I love
Yeah.
it. I watched it growing up. Fantastic. Um, my second movie is Focus. Now,
Oh.
the thing about that, I never finished it because I lost interest. And that's a bad thing to have in a movie. The first half of the movie, and I probably wouldn't even say half. I would say probably first 30 minutes to 45 minutes was fantastic. They hook you in and you are invested. But then it gets kind of shitty after that. And it loses you. So I stopped watching it and I just didn't pick it back up. But I saw the first 30 to 45 minutes and I was hooked.
Yeah.
And then I started watching, I watched maybe like 10 minutes of the rest and I was like, well, this kind of fucking sucks now.
Fair enough.
So would I recommend it? Maybe. I can't really
Can't give out a recommendation if you
yeah,
didn't
I
finish
can't.
it, right?
I mean, but that's the thing. If it lost me as an audience, you should kind of take that as a hint.
Yeah.
Fair.
Last one, Oppenheimer. Fantastic, fantastic movie. Go see it in theaters, IMAX if you can. I know this is coming out later, so do you think it? No, I
Yeah,
don't
it'll
think it.
still be in. I think it will
Yeah.
be.
So go see it in IMAX. It's crazy how Christopher Nolan um filmed this all on film, edited this all
Small,
on film.
small budget too. Only
Yeah.
100
Uh,
million.
yeah. 11 miles worth of footage, 3 hour long movie, 600 pounds of film. That is
Crazy.
nuts. Go
Insane.
see it. No CGI at
Nope.
all.
All practical.
Honestly, go. I can't
Mhm.
can't stress it enough. Go see it. But that's it for me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for me, my three movies, I watched Revenge of the Sith to prepare for this. And then I've been on a Batman binge. Batman
Ooh.
Begins
Okay.
and the GOAT Batman, Christian Bale. So Batman Begins and
Whoa,
Batman
whoa.
Rises. Is that the second one?
No, Dark Knight Rises.
Dark.
No, the Dark.
It's
Wait,
just the Dark Knight.
the Dark Knight, and then the third one's the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah. So those
Um,
two, I gotta finish the last one. Those
hold
are my
on.
favorite Batman movies.
You're saying Bale's the best Batman?
Bale is the best Batman.
I like Keaton.
I'm a Bale guy.
I like Keaton.
I like
I
Bale.
really do. I have to
I
say.
kind of like his twist. I just really like him as an actor. Honestly, I'm kind of biased because I really love him as an actor. I loved him in American Psycho.
Well, yeah, Christian Bale's
like
not bad. I mean, like, I'm not saying he's a terrible Batman, but I think Michael Keaton, kind of, I think he gives the best duality to the character, and we talk about this all in our Batman episode. Wow, episode 5. This is gonna be episode 35.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Did you guys visit the Bale Batman movies?
Oh, we touched everything.
Yeah. Whoa.
Gotcha. I love
Pause,
Jonathan.
We did not touch everything. We touched everything with consent.
With consent. I like Bale.
All right, what is this, Supergirl?
Oh God.
That was such a bad line. Everybody knows that. John, you got to put that up. That was so bad. That pissed me off when I saw that. I was so angry. Okay, sorry. Get back to it.
So the two Batmans, and I think Bale's the best because I just feel like he has the best. Your picture again. There you go.
Yeah, I accidentally kicked the board. My knees hurt. I gotta stretch. Fucking.
We're good. Keep going.
Yeah. Just keep going.
All right. Yeah, I think he's the best Batman. Honestly. The villains that he faces. Yeah, I mean, I really just love those movies, and I'm gonna watch the last one with who plays Bane again? One of my favorite actors.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
You would never know.
Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's the shit. Peaky Blinders. Also, Oppenheimer.
Venom.
He's Venom as well. I love Tom Hardy. He's just great.
Are you sure you're thinking of the right person? Not Cillian Murphy?
Cillian Murphy, yeah. Cillian Murphy from Oppenheimer and Peaky Blinders. That's what I was getting to. So we kind of talked about Oppenheimer. Cillian Murphy was in Peaky Blinders. If you didn't watch Peaky Blinders, go watch it. Incredible.
Good show.
And Tom Hardy was in there as well. Tom Hardy is kind of like the opposite of not the opposite, but he's kind of like one of the enemies. And his
he's Scarecrow.
Oh yeah. There's a very a really good movie called Warrior with Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh,
him and his brother are like, they both need money, or technically they don't both need money. His brother needs the money. So he starts fighting for MMA. Tom Hardy's character wants to win the money for a fallen soldier that he was with, like his brother practically, brother in arms, died in battle. He wants to support their family and give the money to them. So that's the whole thing. They're duking it out. I love fighting movies. I love boxing movies, MMA. I love all of it.
Yeah, they're all really good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I'm watching those type of movies like Rocky, Creed, even the Kevin James one, Here Comes the Boom, because that's on Hulu, so I watched that recently.
Yeah.
Like every time they're in there, I'm just sitting in my chair like shadow boxing almost. Dude, I was in the theaters watching Creed 2, and I'm like boxing the backs of my seat.
Yeah. Good. They need to make a Mike Tyson movie.
Ooh,
that would be cool.
They made a George Foreman movie.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's the go. I recently just watched. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Joseph Vincent on YouTube. He does like all these like sports documentaries.
Name sounds familiar.
He is a great YouTuber. Great. He does like these edits and these documentaries, or these highlights of all the great sports players, and he puts it in such a professional manner. It's not just a highlight film with music in the background.
Mm-hmm.
It's like literally the best sports documentary, and he does a whole thing about Mike Tyson and his history of him being a kid, growing up in the freaking streets with no parents, and then this old freaking Italian white dude brings him into his boxing gym, teaches him how to box. Like when he was a kid, he used to fight in the streets for money in like these fighting pits, and then this dude takes him in, adopts him, teaches him how to box, and then he just becomes a fucking
that'd be a good story.
Warrior. Oh, he just becomes a complete warrior, and he's on top of the world, undisputed champion. And then his mentor dies.
Studios, give us a call. We got this.
Who would play Mike Tyson though?
Mike Tyson.
Kevin Hart.
That fool's high off shrooms all the time.
Kevin Hart.
Let me not talk too much. I might get knocked the fuck out.
Dude, yeah, you got to be careful. I've heard a lot of stories from comedians saying that Mike Tyson, if you're not funny with your jokes, he'll get pissed.
Yeah. Dude, he's a fucking gutter kid, bro. This kid came from the streets. Like I said, he used to fight for money. He had no parents.
That's wild.
He was in juvenile detention like 10 times before he was 15.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Damn.
Warner Brothers, Sony Pictures, somebody hit us up. We'll come make this movie for you, all three of us.
Literally, this kid was a little criminal, and he turned into the freaking biggest face of boxing. Heavyweight fighting was dead in the 80s after After Ali,
it's nuts.
after Ali, everyone was just like, okay, so what? And then Mike Tyson comes along and he just knocks people out, knocks him out, undisputed champion. And then he just goes in this downward spiral of drugs and crashing his car and not training for fights. And then he loses his belt, and then he goes to jail. Then he comes back, and then he gets his titles back, and then he loses again. And he's just always a
I'd
downward
love to see
spiral.
that. Yeah,
It's
that
such
actually
That'd be
a
sounds
awesome.
tragic
great.
story. It's such a tragic story. And like it's like you listen to his story, you listen to him talk on like podcasts and like his documentaries. It's like fuck, what went right for this guy in his life? Like he was dealt
Right.
the shittiest fucking cards, and he
Yeah.
made it into something.
Yeah. I
He
mean,
just
that
never
sounds very
made his own
interesting.
mistakes. That's
Yeah, that'd
my
be a
thing.
fucking
Mike
great
Tyson.
movie.
That would
Maybe
be
if somebody will hit us up, we can make this movie.
Yeah, right. Damn.
But now we're gonna jump into some visual effects. First off, all I really want to say about visual effects is sometimes the green screen is very telling.
You're talking
Yeah,
about
at times.
Sith.
What? Yeah.
Okay. I guess
The green screen can be very telling at times.
Not as much as you think, but because I think some things distract you from it. But if
Dude,
you're
like in
looking for
the
it,
beginning where like right after they saved Palpatine, you could tell that Sam Jackson is literally standing in front of a green screen. It's very noticeable.
it's
And
hard. It's because in Star Wars, it's hard because it's a completely different galaxy and society, and
Yeah.
the special effects isn't really that bad for 2005. In the opening
it's no,
sequence,
exactly.
And
that's
there-
not what I'm saying at all. I'm
yeah,
just saying there are times throughout this whole movie where you can kind of tell that they're standing in front of a green screen or they're filming this
Mhm.
like in front of a green screen. That's
gotcha.
all I'm saying. I'm not taking away from the fact that this is very well done for it being 2005. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, literally, that was my only note. Was that the visuals are beyond its time because,
Yeah.
like in 2005, you couldn't do all that much, and they managed to go above and beyond what the norm was of that time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's all I have to say is that sometimes it's just very noticeable that they're in front of a green screen.
In the opening sequence, if you pay attention, all the explosions. So it starts off calm, right? Starts off calm, the calm before the storm, and they're just flying through. You're kind of seeing, wow, this looks very fluid. And then they flip over the ship, and you just see a massive war zone. It's insane.
yeah,
And as they're flying through, you have all these things happening, things exploding here, things exploding there. And the special effects team actually threw a little Easter egg in there. One of the things explodes, and a kitchen sink flies past, like not past the screen, but in the distance and hits a Jedi cruiser. So the
Really?
special effects team are saying, the saying, we threw everything but the kitchen sink. They even threw
That's
the kitchen
funny.
sink in there.
That is
That's
wild.
how much they worked on the special effects for this movie. And even when Anakin's fighting Dooku in the separatist cruiser, you sometimes, if you don't even pay attention to the fight, you just look in the background and there's a legit war in the background going on, real life war. So literally, there's honestly, to this day, there's almost nothing that touches it. If you put in context, ILM and George Lucas are just undefeated in terms of that. But the green screen thing, that is a valid complaint.
Yeah,
And it is noted. I will check it out next time I watch, because I haven't.
You'll be able to tell.
that was an issue in all movies until like DVD. No, I don't want to say till DVD was done, but like till Blu-ray really like kicked in like the early 2010s.
Yeah, Avatar was the first Blu-ray movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really a big issue for a long time. So but further you go back to more, it's obvious. Like I watched what was it recently? Pulp Fiction. It's in it. They're driving on the street, and you see the green screen of them in the car, and it's so bad.
Oh
but
God. Yeah,
like,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, a lot of Tarantino's movies are like that, by the way. Like he does green screen in all of his car scenes in the older films, obviously, and they all look like shit.
Tarantino's only making one more and then he's done.
Yeah, no, I heard that. Crazy.
He said he was only making what, like 5 films, I think it was, and then he's done,
Yeah.
which is
Wow.
crazy to think of.
Yeah.
'Cause he's got what? Kill Bill 1, Kill Bill 2, The Hateful Eight, um, Pulp Fiction, and then does he have
In-
any others?
Inglourious Bastards. Um. Oh my god, I just watched it, and I mentioned in the last episode. Um. With Jamie Foxx, I can't think of it. Oh my god.
Oh,
Django?
Django.
Yeah, Django Unchained.
Django.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Django. I'm a fucking
Django.
idiot.
Great movie.
Yeah. Then there's like one or two more, but really, really
Yeah, but
great.
like, there's only like a certain amount he's directing, and then he's done.
Yeah. Speaking of, I guess, directing, we can talk about some cinematography because it's close
Nice
enough.
try, but not there.
Well, the director has to direct the DP, the director of photography, to get these shots. So, I really only have like 2 scenes or 2 like notes here for the cinematography. I feel like the opening chase scene or the opening sequence that Fidel you just mentioned, I
Mhm.
think it's probably one of my favorite scenes ever in Star Wars. I just feel like the
Really?
banter between Obi-Wan and Anakin is just so organic and
Yeah.
it's fantastic. And you get to like really get a good feel for their relationship, and then you see all the nonsense going on, like all the fighting and
Mhm.
just it's just really really strong. It's a strong opening scene, and I just love it.
It
And then we get
catches
the
you
Yeah.
great
where you went.
yeah, exactly. And we get so many great lines. We get this is where the fun begins. And then there's at least 2 or 3 other lines that are just so iconic from Star Wars and just
Right.
that opening scene alone. So it's really really great. And then I
I
had
sense
one,
Count Dooku. I
yeah,
sense a trap.
yeah,
Next movie,
exactly.
spring the trap, and then it just cuts off. Like that's a great line. That shows the connection that these two have
Hmm.
had. They don't have to tell you. The best thing in movies to do is show, don't tell. See,
Yeah,
if they came out
exactly.
and started the movie, oh, right, Obi-Wan, we're the best pair, we're the best buds. That's fucking bro. Or I don't know if you keep that in. That sucks. Like we don't want to hear that. We want to
I know.
see
Right.
kind of
Kick
have that
ass
bond.
together.
We
Yeah.
want to see them kick it and have that bond and them being together and
Right.
having, I don't know the word, um
It's like an unbreakable bond.
unbreakable bond, like they're inseparable, and that's kind of what they're
Yeah,
conveying. They
Right.
accomplish that without telling that to us.
exactly.
It's great for
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah. And
I don't really have anything.
now I had one more. And it goes pretty much to the scene with Samuel Jackson finding Palpatine, and then like their fight scene, and then the previous fight scene with Count Dooku, Obi-Wan, and Anakin.
Mhm.
This is just how lightsaber duels are supposed to be done.
Right.
None of this fake bullshit in the newer movies
Oh
where
yeah.
like some random person can just body a guy with like years of training. I know it was people are saying that, oh well, nobody really had proper training, so anybody could fight anybody. I think that's total
That's
bullshit.
baloney. That's
Yeah,
complete fucking baloney, by the
I
way.
think it's so stupid. But this is the way it should have been done in the first place with all these newer movies, and it's so infuriating because there's so much potential, especially with new effects and blah, like all this bullshit.
So
But it's as simple as this: these fighting scenes are how it should be done.
that's the thing I want to say. I don't think this is the best Star Wars movie ever made, or whatever we talked about. Perfect, the most perfect Star Wars movie.
Mhm.
But I think this movie and the prequels have the best lightsaber battles.
Yeah,
Oh,
With
by far.
without a
yeah,
doubt, hands down, 100% the best uh lightsaber battles, lightsaber duels, whatever you
hmm,
want to call them. Obviously they are the best. And you can see that in this movie. In the
Yeah.
final
yeah.
fight, you can see that.
I think
Even in the
that final
beginning,
fight is
you can see that. Like
yeah,
it's fucking amazing.
This is why I think it's the best, because usually Star Wars movies it's kind of the build up, the build up, the build up, the build up, and they end with a lightsaber duel.
yeah,
This movie
Right.
says- this they George Lucas threw everything on the table. We said we're gonna fucking start with a lightsaber duel that kills the main character. Then in the middle of the film, we're gonna do another lightsaber duel that also kills one of the main villains. Two of the main villains are gone. And then
Right.
after that, we're gonna do two more lightsaber duels. Anakin
yeah,
and Obi-Wan, Yoda and Palpatine. Oh, and by the way, Mace Windu and Palpatine. That's 5 elite
Yeah.
battles in one movie. And once you put that together with it being essentially a tragic story of someone being deceived by the dark side. I mean, Star Wars is a space opera. That's what it's described as. If you put all the action and all the plot all together, I don't know how you not see this as the greatest Star Wars movie.
Yeah. I think
that is
I
a
don't
good point, but
I don't know if the
I can't say
execution
that.
is the
Sorry.
best, but this movie has the best story out of all 9 movies, in my opinion. This is the
Really?
this is the most important story.
Yeah.
This is
It's
how it
very-
all really gets to where we're going.
Yeah. And going back to what I said before, they don't tell you, they show you.
Yeah.
You see Anakin is having conflicting thoughts. You see he's troubled. You see he doesn't say this is what I'm going to do. You see it in his face. The way when he says, no, you will die, and he hits him with the lightning, Mace Windu, when Palpatine hits Mace Windu with the lightning, you see Anakin's face, he's so conflicted. And then there's a
Yeah.
moment where he turns and his
Oh my
face
god, I love that.
stone,
Fucking love that.
and his face turns stone,
Yeah.
and that's when you could see the acting again, back to him being a great actor. I don't think the plot is that bad because necessarily don't tell you. You have to pay attention for these things, and it's kind of the build up. He murders a unarmed prisoner. He is having troubles with his wife. He wants to save his wife. His mentor is telling him, hey, do this bad shit and you can save your wife. And then he's conflicted. He has to make a split decision in a second. So that's why when people say that it's bullshit how quickly he fell, I think shit just happens.
No. And he killed all of the
younglings.
No, not the younglings. The people who captured his mom.
Oh, the Sand People.
Sand
Sand
people.
People,
That's
yeah.
in the
Tusken
last
Raiders.
movie.
Tusken Raiders.
That's in the last movie. But yeah, I mean, the build up to the dark side. That's why people say
It's longer than you think.
And especially in the Clone Wars, you gotta watch the Clone Wars.
I know.
In the Clone Wars,
It's there.
You see the build up as well of him in the beginning. He's happy go lucky, and then towards the end, he's like fucking killing innocent people. He's literally stabbing people, not innocent but unarmed prisoners. So he gets kind of used to it.
Yeah.
And you see it all. That's why I kind of disagree that execution is not. When people say that, I think it's there. You just got to pay attention and kind of give it a grain of salt.
But that's I mean, I still don't think I can give this the title of the most perfect Star Wars film. I don't think I can, just because even though what you guys are saying, yes, in the Clone Wars there's a build up, but you don't see it in this movie. And I think that's what you know, and I think that's what a lot of people are getting at also with the Marvel situation. I shouldn't have to watch all these shows or this many seasons of this show to understand this movie or to get a better backstory of this movie.
But I disagree though with this, because you see it in episode 2 when he literally kills all the Tusken Raiders.
Right. The Tusken Raiders,
not
yes,
that
that's a different story. You start to see him slide to the dark side. But also, I mean, I just still don't agree that this is the perfect Star Wars movie of all time. I just can't agree with that. I really can't.
It has the best lightsaber duels. It has the most tragic endings, right? The most tragic plotline, the best twist. Well, actually,
but we all knew it was coming.
Has the best twist because
we knew it was coming, but still,
like you don't know how it's gonna happen. I mean, it's the most. It's very Shakespearean, and it's a space opera. I mean, because you think about it, it's an opera because it has this classic music. It's,
oh my god, yeah,
the best music in all of Star Wars. Duel of the Fates is just incredible. Right. It has the best fights, best plot, best music, incredible acting most of the time.
Yeah,
most of the time.
See, I'm not with you when you say best plot.
What do you think is the best plot then? 5?
Yeah,
I like 5 or 6. I think 5 or 6 kind of okay. Besides the Ewoks, 6 is pretty good.
For me, like in terms of favorites, it's 6, 5. That's the 3.
Really?
So yeah.
To me, it's 3, 5, and then everything, and then 4. and then everything else is like it kind
Yeah.
of switches around.
Yeah.
But
See, that's the thing. I think 5 or 6 is better than
this
this.
one pulls at your heartstrings, though.
I
This
understand,
one,
but
Kenobi says,
I
"I
I
loved you like a brother. How
I
could you
get it.
turn to the dark side?" Dude, I get
I
goosebumps.
get it.
I'm fucking thinking about it
No,
right now,
I
bro.
get it, man. I understand. It pulls on my heartstrings too. But I still don't think that it is the best Star Wars movie of all time. I don't think it's the perfect the whatever the fuck this title is, the most perfect movie of
The
all
best Star Wars
time.
movie.
That's Star
Yeah,
Wars
thanks,
movie.
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think 5 and 6 or 5 or 6 is better than this. I can't choose one because 5 and 6 are practically the same in my opinion. Not the same, but like
They're the same
equally as
tier. I get what you're saying.
equally as good.
Yeah.
I can't give it that title when I think something's better than it.
And that's fair, but I kind of laid it out. I think this has the best fights, the best plots.
Okay.
It
Best
pulls at
lightsaber
your
duels, hands
heartstrings.
down. Hands
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Plot, yes. It was a great plot. I don't think because we all kind of I think the thing is we all knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or not that it was gonna happen, but it was gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
We just
Anakin
didn't know how.
obviously right. But with 5 or 6, it's very original. It's you don't know what's going to happen. You didn't know Han was going to go into carbonite. You didn't know this was going to
Very
happen. You
true.
didn't know that was going
Yeah.
to happen. And then at 6, you didn't know, that Luke was going to go to Jabba's palace. You didn't know what the deal was. And I think that's what made the plot so much better in 5 and 6 than than episode 3. You see a more original plot line in 5 or 6 than you do in this because you kind of know what it's leading up to. It's leading up to Anakin turning and becoming Darth Vader instead of not knowing anything.
Yeah.
Like in 5 or 6.
I just think that the fact that it's a tragedy, that he is literally the poster boy of the whole war. He is the number one guy. He's the chosen one. Everyone's like, he would be the last person that anyone would think to betray the whole. I mean, you think about it.
Right.
He changed the whole universe. He changed the whole Star Wars galaxy. For real. He
Yeah.
took down the Republic. So he took down the Jedi Order, and he helped install an authoritative regime, the Empire. And he was the main proponent of all of that. And that kind of leads into episode 4, 5, and 6. That's the reason why this happened. And that's why it's the prequels. I don't know, man. I'm very biased. I
am too. So
I'm a fucking simpleton. I see lightsabers and explosions. I'm happy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know. But let's keep it moving here. Let's take a break to mention some merch here. We have some merch in the store. We have some new summer items in the store. Some tank tops. We have a bunch of new things, slides. Go check it out.
Also, for all you new sports folks, I guess you could say, we just released a brand new pickleball set. Comes in 5 different colors, and those colors look fantastic on your pickleball paddles. I'm actually a big pickleball fan. I love playing pickleball whenever I get the chance. It's a lot of fun. It's like a bigger version of tennis,
Yeah.
but a smaller version. Smaller
It's like
version of
ping pong.
tennis, bigger version of ping pong.
Yeah.
It's great. It's so much fun. And I mean, if you want, check it out. Go to the store, oneshotmoviepodcast.net to get all of your merch, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, slides, tank tops, crew necks, sweatshirts. Even though it's summer, there's no need to not be rocking a great One Shot Movie Podcast sweatshirt. Desk mats, phone cases, pint glasses. What am I missing? Am I missing anything?
You're pretty good. So
right.
what is the code for today's episode?
Use promo code. What do you think, Sith?
I think revenge.
Revenge?
That's a big word. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if revenge would fit.
Jedi.
Okay. Yeah.
Jedi?
That's fair.
Promo code Jedi.
I like that. Code Jedi.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Code Jedi for 15% off your order. But make sure you go get your merch. Number one, it helps the show, helps us keep going. And yeah.
Yeah. So go to oneshotmoviepodcast.net, use code Jedi for 15% off your order. And let's get back into it. So let's fly through these because we did a lot of talking about we had some great banter back and forth, but let's go jump into some movie ratings on websites. We have some
Before my
varying...
camera dies, let's
I know
wrap it up.
that's why. So we have some differing scores here. IMDb, we have a 7.6 out of 10. Metacritic is a 68 out of 100 with a user score of 7.9. So the critics didn't like it as much as the audience did. Letterboxd, the newer one that we have on here, give it a 3.7 out of 5, with Rotten Tomatoes giving it a 79%. So the critics liked it and they recommend it. So some pretty differing scores here.
I think most of those are pretty acceptable. I think most of them are pretty acceptable.
High 70s, I would give it mid 80s, but critics, sure, they could critique things. The writing is shoddy here and there with Anakin and Padme on the balcony. That is, it's so corny.
That is so embarrassing.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
You look at it, no, it's because I'm so in love with you. Like, bro, come on.
Hold me like you used to on Naboo. That's fucking, it's so bad.
Now that I think about it, your guys' point with Padme having not the best lines.
Right?
Yeah. So she was dealt a bad hand. She was dealt a bad hand.
I agree with you guys now. I rescind my previous point.
She probably just didn't care though. She probably was just like, it's a fucking paycheck. I don't care.
She got the card she was dealt. She's there to be a lovey.
But that's the thing. She probably also didn't try to fight for better lines either. She was like, I'm dying at the end of this movie. I don't give a fuck.
You can't fight George. George Lucas is
I know.
It's his art.
It's also thought out and methodical that's like probably can't be changed.
Right.
But yeah, what do we have up next here?
We got opening weekend and overall earnings, and budget. So the budget for this movie was $113 million. Opening weekend, it made $108 million, pretty much making back its budget, obviously. And overall, it has made $868.4 million.
And people say this movie's bad. Come on, almost $1 billion in the box office.
I never said it was bad.
Not you. Not saying you. Not at all.
People
thought you were calling me out.
No.
You did last episode.
Oh yeah,
you were doing it again.
No. People think this is a bad movie. It's not. It's a good movie. It's a prequel, so therefore it gets packed in with the other bad prequels episodes. That's all. But now we can jump into our favorites. So we have a favorite quote and favorite scene. Fidel, since you're our guest, we'll let you go first.
Oh man. Okay, so I can't choose. There's so many good ones. But probably I'm gonna do something a little unorthodox. I'm gonna let you guys get the obvious ones. So my favorite scene probably had to be when they're in the opera. Anakin and Palpatine is in the opera. He calls him for a special little meeting, and he tells them about the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise, which was Palpatine.
That's an underrated scene.
That's a good one. Yeah.
His old Sith master.
That's not what I expected at all.
It's such a basic scene. If you think about it, it's two people sitting and talking, but somehow you pack the most lore, the best acting, and the best storytelling in that little 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To see Palpatine's face kind of just talking about telling a story as if he wasn't a part of it, but towards the end, he says, because he killed his master, it's ironic. He could save himself from death. He could save others from death, but not himself because he killed his master.
Right.
It was the master of death. He could bring people back to life and keep people alive. So that was my favorite scene. So much lore, great acting, and just overall underrated scene, in my opinion, that needs more love.
Yeah. It's great.
And a favorite quote?
Probably the when he's talking, the one that I said, he could save others from death, but not himself. And he's just there smiling and smirking, all cynical and insidious.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Good. I feel like ours are probably gonna be the same.
That's the thing. And I was gonna say that John and I, we have the exact same scene.
Yeah, so I'll let you say it.
The ending, the Duel of Fates, kind of, I guess you could say part 2, because technically the first Duel of Fates was
true.
Qui-Gon versus Maul.
Yeah.
So I guess you could
Yeah.
call this Duel of Fates Part 2. Funny enough, John, this is the first time we have actually both agreed on every single thing, which is the scene and the quote.
Oh yeah, this is the
See,
first.
this is the best quote. You were the chosen one, Anakin. Said
Yeah.
you would destroy the Sith, not join them.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
You know,
Great.
I hate you. Like it's
Oh,
just
man.
it's
Oh my
so
God.
good.
Great
And
acting.
speaking of that, did you know there was a deleted scene that where Anakin actually calls out for Obi-Wan's help? He
Yeah.
goes, "Master, help me."
Yeah.
Oh,
And you can see it, and you can
I
see
feel
it
like I've
You
ever
too.
can
seen
see
that.
him reach.
Yeah.
You can see it. So like there's a scene where they cut to it, but you can see Hayden Christensen mouth the words, "Master, help me." And they cut it. And I feel like if they didn't cut it, oh my
It
god,
would have made a lot of sense though.
how much of a
Because
tearjerker that would have been.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would have made
Oh
sense if
my
they
god.
kept it in because there was still good in him. He was just conflicted
Right.
and manipulated, you know? It would have made a lot of sense.
And also you still see that though in the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you see the lightsaber colors on his face go from blue to red to blue to red.
Yeah.
And then finally he goes, Anakin Skywalker's gone.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that gave me
Mhm.
chills watching that. I
It's
fucking
wild.
love that.
Remains.
I fucking
Yeah.
love that finale. Oh
I
my
know.
god. It was great.
Yeah.
Star Wars does a lot with the colors and shadowing.
know.
Revenge of
Oh
the
yeah.
Sith, you could see when Anakin's talking to Yoda, most of his
I
face
know. I
is
thought
covered in
that too.
shadow,
Yep.
symbolizes the dark side. When he's talking to Obi-Wan, the last time he sees him, right before he's going to Utapau to fight General Grievous, he's standing in the shadow. So
That's very
Star Wars
interesting.
I know.
uses the lighting and colors, especially in Episode 5, Luke versus Darth Vader. It has the conflicting red and blue tones for Darth Vader, and it's the same with Anakin here. They do a great job with coloring and shadows.
Oh
sure.
yeah.
And this is why this guy's the Star Wars enthusiast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We
so
should have
Mr. So
him and
Mr. Star
Andrew
Wars
on
enthusiast.
together.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So now let's
Next
jump
next
into
time.
our final ratings. So since you're new on the show here, Fidel, we do ratings on 4 different scales out of 10.
Okay.
Acting, plot, overall, and then rewatchability.
Okay.
So
Try not
whatever
to
you
do
think out of
decimal
10.
points. I'm not a big fan.
So acting, I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it a solid 8. I'm gonna give it a solid 8. I feel like the only bad acting is Natalie Portman. Now that I'm like rethinking it,
Yeah.
it's incredible, the acting. You could even go as far as giving it an 8.5. So I'm gonna go as a conservative 8. And the next one was plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plot. I'm gonna give that a 9 because I feel like this is the best plot in a Star Wars movie. It's just the tragic fall of the chosen one. Like,
Oh yeah.
this kid had everything and he threw it away
Yep.
for whatever reason he
The
For
had.
the
chosen
strive for
one.
more power. What's the name says it? Palpatine's I believe it's Palpatine that says it. He goes, ever since you were a boy, you've always wanted you were striving for a life far greater than a Jedi.
Than an ordinary Jedi.
Yeah,
And that's when
ordinary
he's
Jedi.
that's when he's trying to convince him. He's like,
Yeah.
bro,
Right.
join the dark side. And he's kind of like teasing him. He's like, I could,
Yeah.
and then that's when he name drops. It's like, I could save I could save your wife
Yeah.
from
Right.
death. And he's just like, what did you say? Like that, he
I
was just
know.
completely blindsided.
What
Palpatine
did he
was
say?
fucking, what did you say? Yeah, he was shocked. And yeah, the plot is elite. So that's acting, plot. What's next?
Rewatchability.
Yeah.
10, without a doubt. I watch this all the time. I've watched this movie over 100 times. I read the books. I watch the film breakdowns. It's an incredible movie. I'll watch it until I die.
Yeah. Good.
And then overall.
I'm gonna stick with what I said earlier. In the mid 80s, I'm gonna give it a 8.5 because nothing's perfect.
yeah,
Nothing. I think overall, nothing will ever be a 10. No movie ever will be a 10. Realistically,
We've disagreed
overall,
with that. We've gone against that a few times.
I
But
don't think anything in this world is perfect. I think there's always room for improvement. That's just me personally. So 8.5. Well, that's mine for
okay.
this.
I'm kind of similar to you. for
I
me,
guess you can go. I was gonna
my
be
oh,
real quick. I was gonna go real quick, nice and easy.
it's okay. I'm not gonna take that long. Mine acting, I'm gonna give it an 8 because Natalie Portman wasn't great, but she was dealt the bad hand. Everyone else kind of carries. The plot of this movie is great. I'm gonna give that a 9. Rewatchability is a 9 because it's the most important Star Wars story out of all 9. An overall rating, my overall score goes down because we didn't touch on it before, but the pacing of this movie is pretty shit. The first half of this movie is kind of really, really slow, and it's not as important, even though it's like a story building piece of the movie. It's very important, but like there's not much action. The second half is so action packed. There's so much going on. It's really fast paced. But like the first half, I don't want to say it's a snooze fest because it's really important. It's just you want to get to that second half, like because you know how good it is.
After the opening chase scene, it's kind of like
it's
politics and
dialogue and blah blah blah.
bureaucracy and dialogue and shit like that. So
Yeah.
I could get that.
I've always felt that way. That the first like maybe like the second, the first half is just kind of meh. It's not like terrible. It's just not as great as the second half. So my overall score is the same as yours, 8.5. I can't give it a 9 because that's too elite for this movie when there are better ones that deserve a 9. But it's not an 8 because it is just not worthy of an 8. So I'm right in the middle.
Right.
And this is my favorite Star Wars movie.
So, the thing is, first off, acting. The thing is, I don't want you guys to think that this is just acting, but I have to take this out somewhere, and it's gonna come to acting. Because of the visual effects and because I can kind of see the green screen somewhere, for some reason I'm taking it out on acting. Not saying that I'm giving acting a real shit score, but it's gonna come out of there. So I'm giving acting a 7. Number one, Natalie Portman. The other points taken off are because of the green screen. Because you can see it a lot, and I understand it's 2005 and everything, but kind of takes me away from the movie itself. Plot itself, great plot. Knew it was gonna happen. You knew it was gonna come to it, but I'm still giving it an 8 because of the execution of the plot. The execution of the plot was fantastic. I loved everything. I loved the end scene, or the end sequence where Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting, and he turns into Darth Vader. It was fantastic. Uh, as you know, that was my favorite scene.
Yeah.
And rewatchability, I'm gonna give it a 8. I love watching this movie, but like John said, the pacing was kind of shit. Now honestly, running it back in my head, the pacing was pretty shit. Starts off strong, then kind of dies down real hard, and then just picks up kind of towards the end, um, pretty quickly. So the pacing was kind of shitty. So all in all, overall, I'm giving this a 7.5. And that's just because I think 5 or 6 is better. I think 5 or 6 is probably about an 8 or an 8.5.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I don't know if I agree with your scores. But that's
don't
what
have
you
to.
think.
It's my
No, I know.
scores.
Yeah, my main thing about this movie was just the pacing. That's like my biggest
Right.
gripe. And obviously the shit dialogue
From
for
Padme.
Natalie Portman.
Right.
That was really bad. But that's biggest thing for me. So
Yeah.
any final remarks for anybody? Can we wrap it
All
up?
in all, this was a great movie, and I'm glad we had a Star Wars expert on, and my camera just died, so I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
First of all, you can find us on Instagram at One Shot Movie Podcast Official, Facebook and TikTok at One Shot Movie Podcast, TikTok at One Shot Movie Pod.
Yeah, it'll be above my head. It'll be right here, actually.
Yes. Also, if you have any issues, John will put the link tree in the description so you can go to all of our stuff. Get the merch, 15% off if you use promo code JEDI. That is JEDI, obviously. 15% off all the merch. Patreon, please go support our Patreon. I'm not doing anything with my camera. It's just going to be a black screen for right now. Go support the Patreon. Any little bit for the show helps, because we got to keep this going. John and I eventually do want to get our own studio if it's possible, if it's, you know, somewhere along those lines, if it's in the works somehow. We
Yeah.
would love to get our own studio, decorate it how we want to, and everything like that. Thank you, Fidel, for coming on. And you know, if you want to plug anything, your Instagram, your TikTok, whatever you want to plug, please go ahead right now.
I just got Instagram, so it's just Fidel_Ibrahim 15. Nothing really that special. It's a pleasure being on here with you guys talking Star Wars.
This was great. I feel like we could have gone so much longer.
Man's trying to take over our show. It seemed like.
I'm for it. I want him back on for more Star Wars.
We got to get him and Andrew on the same episode.
Oh my god.
Of another Star Wars movie. Maybe we start off with episode 4.
We could do 4. That would be great. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I think both of them would be really
great.
interesting to have on for the same.
No doubt.
I love it, honestly. This was very fun. I still think it's the best Star Wars movie of all time. I hope I made my case.
Good. Me too. So
and yes, you have made your case, but I told you before we started recording, or even when we did, I told you I was hard to convince, and I'm sorry, but you still haven't convinced me.
We convinced you even about Natalie Portman and how her script was kind of ass.
You know what?
So we
just
changed
like
your
I
opinion.
said, you always learn new things. You always kind of have a different perspective. I always kind of thought she was corny, but now I'm kind of putting it all together. Like, oh shit, maybe she was corny as fuck in this movie.
Yeah.
Except for the end when she had her point. Anakin, you're breaking my heart. Rather than that, corny as fuck.
That was like
right. That's what we're saying.
That and beyond, that was like good. The rest of it was like really bad writing, but I don't think it was.
She died, and then when she died for no reason, like
that was a little
cool. Like, oh, Anakin choked her out so long, you know, she had a stroke and blah blah blah. Like,
or
they could have done
fucking
something.
Genius idea. He could have thrown her, and like broke her back or something, so she died.
Yeah, but
the babies.
Yeah, but they managed to survive.
The babies. But thank you so much, Fidel, for coming on.
Yeah, this was
really appreciate you coming on and taking the time out of your day, or I guess we should say night, to come on the show, and we really appreciate it.
This was so fun.
This was great. Another 2-hour episode's coming out.
Oh well.
So you guys are just gonna have to deal with it.
I could talk for 4, but
I
honestly,
know.
I love being here. I love giving you guys my perspective, my expertise. And I hope I shed some light on things that you guys didn't know.
Definitely.
Also, John, tell them, all the stuff they should do on YouTube.
Oh, if you guys are new here and this is your first time seeing us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you're made aware when we make a new post. We try and do reels and those kinds of videos a couple times a week, so that'll be on your page as well a few times during the week. So you'll see little snippets of the episode, and then I'll make you want to go watch the full thing. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you guys are on your streaming platforms, don't forget to follow us, and if you can also leave us a little review and
that helps us
a star rating.
That helps us go up in the charts so that we get a little bit noticed more.
Yep. So that's really it. That's a wrap.
You're now tuned in to the One Shot Podcast hosted by Vincent and Jonny.
This show contains movie spoilers, R-rated content, and Hollywood's hottest takes on movies old and new.
Listen at your own risk.